Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's One Piece Treasure Cruise video, I don't believe I'm saying it, but we have a class. We actually have something else to do other than a point event, a treasure map or a Kizuna event. It's a miracle, and it's a very welcomed one. Team building for this quest is definitely a lot of fun in my opinion, the most fun I have had team building for a while now. So in this video I will present to you 5 diverse teams for a very easy clear. Of course, because in the upcoming treasure map both the super evolved and non-super evolved version of this character will be boosted, you can definitely keep at least one non-super evolved copy. But without further ado, let's get to my teams and strategy. Team 1 is by far the fastest team for you to clear the quest, and it is super strong, definitely one of the strongest teams to clear. It uses Sulong, Nakawamushi and Inuarashi as captains. No stalling is needed for this team. You need to activate Wanda as soon as you enter, to of course reduce your special cooldowns, and then for your dual units you of course want to enter as Wanda and Shirahoshi from V1 Shirahoshi Marchery. You also want maximum specials on everyone, the whale sharks as your ship, or a ship that gives you special cooldown reduction at the start of the quest, and maximum special cooldown reduction sockets. You of course clear both stage 1 and 2 ASAP, and when you enter stage number 3, V1 Bartolomeo support, who is necessary on the Nami and the Robbie, will activate, completely removing paralysis. What you want to do now versus Zoro is attack him and reach the maximum damage he can take, 500,000. Of course, super easy to do, we don't care about the blindness, the special bind or even the stun. In turn 2, just tap one of your captains, do not take Zoro out even though it's possible, just damage him a little bit, and then he will attack you, removing the stun. He will also paralyze you again for 6 turns, and we want to swap Shirahoshi to Manchete to remove special bind, activate Nami or Robin, the Kizuna unit, to remove paralysis, and then we take care of Zoro for good, proceeding to the next stage. For this team to work properly, you need to at least have 10 turns of RCV bind removal. Here I actually have 20 because I have all of my 3 units that have the limit break ability available maxed out on Nami Orobi, V2 Hiyori and Shirahoshi Marchery. In stage 4 after the preemptive, you want to swap to Shirahoshi first, then activate Wanda for special cooldown reduction and defense reduction, then you want to activate the super type of Nekomamushi and the super class ability of Inuarashi, which actually will give Shirahoshi her special back. Now we are ready to activate Shirahoshi. If RCV bind is gone and all of your units are maxed like mine, you will heal to maximum HP. If they are not, you want to remove RCV bind with Shirahoshi's special alongside the healing debuff. Then activate Komurasaki, which would heal you to maximum HP if you are not already, to lock your slots. And now we are ready to attack and take care of this mini-boss, of course penetrating the barrier, since we are over 50% HP and both of our captains still have their Sulong form. Be careful, if you are not over 50% HP, your captain abilities won't allow you to ignore the defensive effects, so you will essentially lose. Although there is an alternative, because if you activate Carrot Wanda again, they can actually gain the ability to penetrate the defensive effects, but only with their attack, making it still possible probably, but way harder to clear. In the final stage, of course, you activate both of your captain specials for an ore boost and an attack boost. You attack with your captains, you ignore the defensive effects, and you super easily clear the quest very fast. Team number 2 will focus on being a free-to-play friendly team. The only non-free-to-play units in the team are Rare Recruit Dex Robin, a very old Rare Recruit, so I'm assuming a lot of players have her. And then we are also using V1 Legend Bartolomeo on her as support to remove 3 turns of paralysis in stage number 3 versus Zoro. For captains, we are using treasure map dual unit Nami and Sanji, entering on Sanji, and you don't really need to swap ever, so just enter and stay on Sanji. And then we are also using a friend captain 6+ Halloween Ace. His captain ability will allow us to completely evade special bind in stage number 3, but also special rewind in stage number 4. I would also advise you to have the whale sharks as your ship, not only for easier perfects, but also more damage specifically for the final stage. A quick tip for your stalling as well, since treasure map reward Garp here has the longest special cooldown out of everyone on the team, whenever his special indicates in 4, you can proceed in stage number 3, because everyone else, including Garp of course, will have their special ready when you need them. Entering stage number 3 now, Zoro will paralyze us, but of course Bartolomeo's support on Robin will completely remove it. Ace deals with the special bind, and Treasure Map Frankie, because of his sailor ability, deals with blindness. Now you want to attack Zoro and of course do 500,000 damage, the maximum he allows you to do, and after that he will stun all of your crewmates. That won't be an issue because as a captain we have the only unit in the game that can remove stun, Nami Sanji. Activate Sanji, remove stun, get an aura boost, and super easily now do the rest of the damage you need to on Zoro to defeat him and proceed to stage number 4. Versus the 3 captains, the special rewind that they apply to us will be resisted because of our captain abilities, and then what we want to do after the preemptive is activate Treasure Map Frankie first. He will deal with the barrier and the defense up, awesome unit for this stage, and he will also provide us with a chain lock. Then we want to also activate Robin to get an attack boost for every unit except Ace, so we want to start our attack with him and then attack with everyone else based on color advantage and matching slots. In case people are wondering, this Garp is coming from the Treasure Map exchange. He's actually pretty expensive, I think, to fully max out. The thing is here, he is awesome because 1, he is Dex, 2, he is Fighter, and 3, he gives us amazing utility by being able to remove the damage nullification shield completely alongside the enemy's barrier. So if you want to replace him, definitely have these things in mind. You need the utility, of course. We activate him first, he does what we need him to do, and then he will also become captain, and he is technically a bit of a better captain than solo Sanji. Then we want to activate Pirate Rumble Lucci, who will remove Threshold completely and give us a color affinity boost, which is active for himself, Robin and Garp. And then we want to activate our friend Captain Ace. He will give an attack boost for everyone, and we want to start the attack with our non-Dex units, ending on our Dex units, trying to hit as many perfects as possible to defeat the boss. Team number 3 will be using Halloween Treasure Map Legend Koala as captain with a friend captain Super Sugo Fest Nami, from the new year, Super Sugo Fest of course. Again, the ship is the Whale Sharks, but it's not really necessary, I just use it for easier perfects. Every support on the team can just be a stat booster support, you don't need anything specific. And we are also going to enter on Denjiro, from Kinemon Denjiro, but we don't really need the super swap, so just enter on Denjiro so when we activate them they can be on the Sai side to have color advantage over the stage 4 mini-boss. Surprisingly, I am using Rare Recruit Q Senior Pink here. The reason is for him to remove 1 turn of damage nullification shield in the final stage, so if you do not have him you can replace him with anyone to remove damage nullification. But in stage number 3, Nami will remove paralysis completely, and what we want to do is just do a bit of damage on Zoro. Generally here we want to take him out in turn 3, so turn 1 do a bit of damage, then he will stun your 2 bottom rows, then do a bit more damage to him, do not take him out, and then he will paralyze you again, Nami removes it, and he will also attack you, freeing your units from stun. Now we are ready to take him out, proceeding to stage number 4. You want to of course stall in the first 2 stages, and have in mind a tip for stalling is when Kinemon Denjiro's special indicates in 6 or less, you can proceed. That strategy guarantees us that they will have their special ready to go for stage number 4, where Koala will help everyone resist the special rewind. What we want to do is of course swap Denjiro to Kinemon and then activate him to remove the defense up completely, but also gain an aura boost and a base attack boost for all of our units, since this is a full Free Spirit team. What we are going to do now is also activate Koala to gain a color affinity boost for Kinemon Denjiro and Nami, and we want to break the barrier and attack with Nami and Kinemon Denjiro, the color affinity having units last, to have more than enough damage and defeat the mini-boss. It's also noteworthy to say that we do have Koala's super type ability available to us, but because this team does so much more damage than actually needed, we don't really need to activate it to save time. Now, in the final stage, our slots will be manipulated, left column to Sai, right column to Wind, all of the buffs will be applied on the enemy, and what we want to do is first of all activate Senior Ping to deal with the damage nullification shield, then we want to activate Treasure Map Shanks twice and he will completely remove the barrier. Senior Ping also removes one turn, so if you are using him only activate Shanks once. Then activate Raid Bonnie to get the full board of guaranteed matching slots and completely remove the threshold, and finally Nami's special and super class abilities so you can get a conditional attack boost, a base attack boost and even a chain boost. You do not even need all of your attacks, just attack with your dex units and super easily clear the quest. Team number 4 will be using a full Striker and Cerebral team led by double 6-star Uta, the Int version and the non-super evolved one. We are going to use stat boosters as our supports, you don't need anything specific here, and the Whale Sharks as our ship, mainly for easier perfects. We don't need extra damage, this team has plenty. In stages 1 and 2, you of course want to stall accordingly, and for your only dual unit, V1 Viv Rebecca, you can enter on Vivi. You never need to swap them anyway. 6-star Uta is very good for this quest, because her captain ability allows us to remove 10 turns of paralysis and special rewind, so that means we can evade both of these debuffs in stages 3 and 4 respectively. Entering stage number 3 now, versus Zoro, we want to take him out in turn 3, once again. In turn 1, after the paralysis is gone because of Uta, just do a bit of damage to Zoro. Turn 2, he will of course stun our crewmates, which is not a problem, and we want to do a bit more damage to Zoro, not of course taking him out. Now he will attack us, he will free our stunned units, he will paralyze us again, but Uta of course helps us completely resist it, and then we are ready to completely take him out, even through the blindness. It's pretty easy to do. Do enough damage and Zoro is history. In stage number 4, if you stalled properly, everyone will have their specials ready, then the enemy will reverse them and Uta will restore them. Now we want to activate Colosseum Kid first, so we can apply 5 hits to the barrier, making it easier to break. Then we want to activate Vivi to remove defense up completely, the color affinity boost does not matter. Then we want to activate both of our Uta specials. We will of course get all of her boosting, an attack boost, an ore boost, a chain boost, and matching slots on our Int units and Drake, and also activate her super class for increased damage in the final stage. And we want to easily break the barrier with the non-matching slot units, the dex ones, and then attack with everyone else to easily defeat the 3 captains. In the final stage now, of course, we will get Uta's boosting, her increased attack boost and ore boost, and then after our slots are shuffled, we want to activate Treasure Map Shanks twice. His special has a high probability of giving us matching slots, but we want him to remove the barrier. We don't care about the matching slots, simply because we have Arena Drake on the team. And because we have enough Dex and Int units in the team, when we activate Arena Drake, he will give us the full board of guaranteed matching slots, but also deal with damage nullification and threshold. Now we are ready to attack and destroy the enemies. Team 5, the final one for the video, will be using V3 Zoro as captain with a friend captain Stampede Luffy. Of course, Stampede Luffy friend captain is very important. Reason 1 is because he gives Zoro access to his super type ability, which allows us to do more damage in the final stage. And reason number 2, Stampede Luffy has an amazing captain ability where he can reduce our paralysis, meaning he is extremely helpful in stage number 3. Have in mind, of course, he only boosts side dex and strength units, so build your team around those. Stall in the first 2 stages, and when at least one or more of your specials have 5 or less turns remaining to be maxed out, then you can proceed to stage number 3. Here, after the preemptive, Luffy will completely remove Paralysis, Zoro will completely remove Special Bind. Then we can deal 500,000 damage to Zoro. He will of course stun our crewmates, and we don't want to take him out in 2 turns, but in 3. So tap one of your captains or 2, just make certain you don't take him out. Tap one unit, it's fine, and then he will attack you, removing stun. He will paralyze us again, but Luffy will remove it, and now in turn 3 we are ready to take him out. In stage number 4 we want to enter with maximum specials, so because we have the Inuarashi Musketeers here, they will resist the special rewind, and then everyone else needs one more turn of special cooldown to have their specials maxed again, and the 3 Musketeers can provide that. You can also use the V3 Zoro special whenever you want to either get special cooldown reduction or anything else. I did not find it useful and I never used it. In stage 4, activate V3 Akainu to reduce the opponent's defense to 0, remove their barrier, and also provide all of your units except Luffy with an attack boost. Then activate Luffy just for him to do more damage, and then based on slots, just attack and super easily defeat the miniboss. Something to have in mind for the final stage, so you don't mess up like I did the first run I had with this team, you can only use 2 specials, and that restriction does not come from the preemptive of the boss, but Treasure Map V2 Kaido's special, when he says that you can essentially use up to 2 specials, including his own. So we are going to use his special that gives a Wano slot, an attack boost and an ore boost only on Kaido, and he will also remove damage nullification shield, and then we are going to activate V16 plus Kid, who will completely remove the enemy's threshold. We can activate the super type though, which will be Zoro's of course, to get a color affinity boost for our Kaido as well. Of course, our Kaido will deal the destructive blow, so with the rest of the units make certain to hit 3 grades in order to break the barrier, then build up your chain, ending with Kaido's big attack to of course clear the quest. And these are my 5 diverse teams for the new class versus the 3 captains. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments down below and I will do my best to help. If you found this video enjoyable or helpful, definitely leave a like, I would really appreciate it. And as always, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.